Good
evening, Rabbi. Somebody just asked me a question, very interesting issue. That person, there's a halacha in the Shulchan Aruch in Ibn Ezer, Siman Yud Gimel. It says over there that a woman who is pregnant and then also nursing, let's say, a woman like this got divorced, or she was widowed, the husband died. So the question is she allowed to marry now another man, or she has to wait? So the truth is, the Chazal made a takana about this. What's the takana? Takana says that if she's pregnant, and then also when the baby is born, and she's nursing all that time, which is about almost 3 years, right? 24 months of nursing, 9 months of pregnancy, 9.5 months, almost 3 years. She can't get married until she finishes this. And what's the reason why? Because we're afraid that the baby is going to be harmed. When she's pregnant, we're afraid that maybe the new husband will come, and make her pregnant again, and maybe the baby will be harmed. Or if she's already nursing, we're afraid that she won't have enough milk to nurse the baby because she'll get pregnant again from the new husband. So this is the reason why the rabbis wanted to make sure that the baby survives. This is the reason why they made this takana, that a woman shouldn't get married during that time.
What if she's not pregnant?
Oh, I'm sorry? If she's not pregnant, she has to wait 3 months.
Only 3 months?
3 months, yes, 90 days. This is the rule, Regular woman got divorced or widowed, she's got to wait 3 months. What's the reason why she has to wait 3 months? What's the reason why? The reason is because we have to know who's the baby. Who's the father of the baby. Is it the first guy or the second guy? We have to be sure about that. So today, we have all kinds of things. We have DNA testing, all kinds of things, pregnancy tests. So it's easier for us to know what's going on. But in those days, they didn't know nothing, So therefore, they wanted to know for sure who's the father. Why do you need to know, by the way, who's the father? Why is that so important? Why? Because he looks like him. What are you going to call him? The truth is, that's a matter of inheritance. Yerusha. You know what that means? When a father dies, you know what happens, right? Who takes the money? The children, the sons. Okay? So if you don't know if this guy is your son or not, how can you give him your money, right? To your inheritance. You can't give him because you don't know if he's your son. Maybe he's the son of the other guy. So this is the reason why they told you to wait 3 months, in order to know whose baby it is. Why is that? Because after 3 months, already the pregnancy is recognizable. You can see in the stomach already. It's sticking out. That already shows that she's pregnant. So this way we know for sure who's the father. This is the whole thing, So for that we require 3 months. But here we're talking about something else, right? We're talking about that we want to make sure the baby doesn't die. You know what I mean? So this is the reason why they protected the baby, the Chazal. They said that she has to wait 2 years and also all the time that she's pregnant. So it's a long time, almost 3 years. Now the question is like this, right? But what about, let's say, for instance, if this lady, she doesn't breastfeed at all, she never breastfeeds. She always gives the child formula, or something like this, what I mean? Materna, whatever they call that, right? All those formulas, they have all kinds of names. This formula, that formula, whatever it is, doesn't make any difference. If she doesn't nurse at all, she never nurses, and she gives the child formula, so what's halacha? Or let's say, for instance, she weaned the child early, in other words, she finished nursing him early, and now it's less than 2 years, so is she allowed to get married, or she has to wait 2 years exactly? This is also the question that they ask in halacha and in the Talmud. They ask all these questions. And also, there's a case where, let's say there are some women, in the old days, what they used to do is, if the lady couldn't nurse her child, for some reason or another, they would bring another woman to do it, another woman, So if I bring another woman to nurse my child, can I now get married? Or that's the question, right, for the woman. These are all the questions that come up. So the truth is, that what we saw in the Beit Yosef and the Shulchan Aruch, it's brought down over there in the name of the Rashba and also other poskim, that what happens is like this, that the truth is that when a woman is never nursing, she never nursed the baby at all. In other words, right away she put the baby on formula. So if that's the case, and the father is still alive, and they got divorced, he didn't die yet. The father, he's still alive. They got divorced. So if she never nursed the baby, then she's allowed to get married. She doesn't have to wait 2 years anymore. This is the halakha. So this is a very important thing, because otherwise, for her to wait so long, it's going to be a problem. She has to wait like this. Sit by herself for 2 years. Waiting. It's hard for a woman like this to live like this for 2 years. It's very difficult. So this is the reason why we allow her to get married as long as she's not nursing the baby. She never nursed the baby. She never started. That's one case. Also, there's another case, which is that she did nurse the baby, but she already weaned the baby. What does it mean to wean the baby? That means that she already finished nursing him. Now he's eating normal food already. He's eating already now applesauce. Whatever, all kinds of things, rice. Whatever, right? All kinds of things. He's eating already normal food. So if that's the case, even though it's before 2 years, once she weaned the baby and also the father is still alive, okay, so then she is allowed to get married already. She doesn't have to wait any longer. So either way, right, there's a way for her to get out of this. But the bigger problem is like this, when you have the father that dies, and when he died, the father, she was still nursing the baby. So there she has to wait now full 2 years in this case. Because since the father is not around, we're afraid that nobody's going to really take care of the baby, So this is the reason why. And you have to know, by the way, one thing to understand this a little bit better. There's a halacha like this. When a husband and a wife, they get divorced, okay? And let's say she's going to have a baby, she's pregnant. So the question comes up, like now let's say the father took the child, the father got custody of the child, okay? And not the mother. So the question is the mother now obligated to nurse the baby? So the answer is no. She's not obligated. Because they're already divorced, so she can tell the husband, according to the halacha, she can tell the husband, find somebody else to nurse your baby. I'm not going to nurse him. She doesn't have to. She doesn't want. So this is the reason why also here in this case, as long as the father is still alive and they're divorced, so in a case like that, she doesn't have to nurse the baby in a case like that. If she wasn't nursing, she never nursed or she already finished nursing him. Either way, right? That's the way it comes out. Okay, very good, Baruch Hashem. That we understand. Let's talk a little bit about the laws of tzitzit, right? We're going to go back to tzitzit a little bit. So I want to tell you also one thing, right? When a person puts on talit, whether it's talit katan or talit gadol, it says in the halakha that he has to do it me'omed. You know what that means? Standing. You have to do the mitzvah standing, right? So the truth is, that we learn this from where? From Sfirat HaOmer. Just like Sfirat HaOmer, you have to do it standing because the pasuk says koba, right? Which kama, the darshans of the Gemara. They have to do Sfirat HaOmer standing, so it learns the Gezerah Shavah. Just like over there standing, also here we have to put the talit on when you're standing. So therefore a person has to stand and then make the blessing and put it on, not sit, right? That's the whole thing, right? And the same thing, the truth is, says the Gemara Yerushalmi, this also applies to all the mitzvot. Whether all the mitzvot that you do, when you make a bracha, when you make a bracha and do the mitzvah, you should be standing at that time. That's the whole thing, So this is the reason why we stand. For many of the mitzvot that we do. Except one, right? Which is what? For tefillin. For tefillin, when we put the shel yad, the sfadim, we don't stand. Some people make a mistake, by the way, with this, They do like the Ashkenazim. They make lehaniach tefillin, baruch atah Hashem, lehaniach tefillin, and they're standing. Right? But this is not the proper way. According to the Sephardi custom, you have to do sitting, lehaniach tefillin. And then stand up, and you have to do then the tefillin sharosh, right? We don't make a bracha on tefillin sharosh. They do, right? The Ashkenazim. They say al mitzvah tefillin. We don't say that. The Ashkenazim they make the bracha. We don't do that. So everybody has to do according to their custom. If a Sephardi does like this, says al mitzvah tefillin, he's doing a bracha v'tara. It's like it's a blessing in vain. It's no good. So a person has to know that each one has to do his own minhag. It's written in the Chidah. It says Maran Chidah. People think, by the way, sometimes, that you can switch, today I'll do Sephardi way, and then tomorrow I'll do Ashkenazi way, and like this, switching off here and there, So it says the Chidah, you can't do that. You can't be one day like this, Sephardi, one day Ashkenazi. It says the Chidah, if a person does that, sometimes he does this, sometimes he does that, like the Ramah, sometimes like Maran. So he says he needs kapara and vidu on Yom Kippur. He has to do vidu and kapara on Yom Kippur. Why? Because he didn't keep his minhagim. This is also considered to be a sin, A person doesn't keep his minhagim, so therefore he needs kapara and bidui. So therefore a person should be careful, always to do minhagim. Where do we learn this, by the way? Where's the makor? That a person has to do his minhagim of his community. It says al titosh Torah timecha. That's what it says, So what does that mean? Don't abandon the Torah of your mother. That's what it means, literally, right? But imecha, the Chazal say, what does imecha mean? What, your real mother? No, it's talking about your community. Right? Your community, your keilah is called imecha. So it's al titosh Torah imecha. Don't abandon the customs of your community, So therefore, a person should always try to do like their customs. That's the way it is. But I want to tell you, regarding this issue of customs, right? That there's some issues with this that a person has to understand. Says the Mahashdam, okay? He was, by the way, the rabbi in Greece, in Saloniki. There was a town over there, Salonika. So yeah, Salonika. In those days, it's called Saloniki. This was the name. I guess they still called that in Greece, whatever. So Saloniki, there was a big Jewish community over there, okay? But this was not like any other Jewish community. Not like Bukhara, not like other Persia, not like that. What do I mean to say? That the big community over there, there was groups that came from many other places, many different places, So it was not like a homogeneous group of like one group, one keilah. It was many keilot. Some came from Morocco, some came from here, from Greece, some came from there, some came from here. All kinds of Yehudim, they came together in one place. By the way, what does this resemble? What does it remind you of? America, right? Same thing, right? America's the same. What does that mean? The Yehudim came over here from different countries. This country from Russia, from Persia, from Spain, from here, from there. They came from all kinds of places. This is what happened, So today we have a big mixture of Jews in New York City, for instance. We have Syrian Jews, we have Bukharian, we have Persian, we have this, we have that, all kinds of things. We have Ashkenazim, of course, right? So this is the way it is, So the question is like this. When you have a community like this of Jews, okay, and they're all keeping a different minhagim, so then the question is, what is the minhag of the place? Of this place, that I live in. What do I have to do? This is the question, which minhag should I keep? Should I keep if I go down the street, this is a Moroccan shul. If I go over there, it's Bukharian shul. If I go over there, it's Paras, right over there. Georgian, what? So which one do I keep? What do I do? Your own, right? But the truth is, that says the Mashdam, here, in a case like this, there is no such a thing as your own. You know why? Because it's mixed. It's a mixture. It's a mixed community. So there is no your own. So what does that mean? When we say your own community, we don't mean your own shul. That's not what it means. Your synagogue. It means the whole town is your community. You understand? The whole the whole town is your community, or the whole country sometimes even. So the question is, what do you do? So says the Mahashdam, in a case like this, where the people came from all over the world, they're not really obligated to keep the old minhagim that they came from there. Like some people came from Bukhara, some came from Tashkent, some came from Samarkand, whatever, all kind of places they came. So what about here? So here, when you come here, you have to keep the minhagim of the place that you came to, but here there's no minhagim because everything is mixed. So therefore, says the Mahashdam, what do you have to do? Keep the Shulchan Aruch, right? That's what you really have to do. Shulchan Aruch is for every Jew. You know what I mean? So whatever it is, right? Whatever kind of Jew you are, you keep the Shulchan Aruch, you're good, right? Keep the minhag of the. So if you're a Sfardi, you do Sfardi. If you're Ashkenazi, you do Ashkenazi. Because usually in most places today, there's two keilot. There's Ashkenazi keilah, there's Sfardi keilah. It's like half and half. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Even today, by the way, in Moscow, Moscow, there's a Sfardi keilah over there now. Before there wasn't. It was all Ashkenazi over there. But now Sfardim came over there, because of business, there was business, all kinds of things. They made keilot over there. So now they have keilot also in Moscow. So therefore the rule is like this, that if you're in a place where it's a mixture of Jews from all over the world, what you do is if you're Sfardi, keep Sfardi, Maran, Shulchan Aruch. If you're Ashkenazi, keep the Ramah, right? The Ramah is the rabbi of the Ashkenazim. This is the way you do, But those minhagim that every shul has different, This shul does like this, Bet Gabriel does like this, and they over here they do like this. So which one is the minhag of the? There isn't, because each shul has a different minhag. So there only the minhag which everybody keeps in the town, all the Jews keep there. That's called minhag. You're obligated to keep that. But a minhag which is only like some places keep. On this block, 63rd, 62nd, 108, Yellowstone, every place has a different minhag. So what's your minhag? There's no minhag, so therefore those minhagim, we're not really obligated to keep them. So we're only obligated to keep the minhagim, which everybody keeps. In other words, all the Sfardim, they keep one minhag, the minhagim Maman, so this way, therefore we keep the Maman. So this is the way it is, that a person has to keep, so what about Eretz Israel, right? If you go to Eretz Israel, what happens over there? So Manan, Rabbi, he already told us, that all the Jews that are coming from all the countries, whether it's Paras or Morocco, or Tunis or Iraq, right? All these Jews that are all they're coming, they should all keep one minhag when they come to Eretz Israel. Don't say, okay, I'm Parsi, I keep Parsi, I keep Bukhari, I keep this. Everyone keeps something else. It's not proper to do like that when you live in one country. One country should have one minhag. So Maran, used to hold like this, that everybody who comes to Eretz Israel she'll keep the Sephardi minhagim. If you're Sephardi, if you're Ashkenazi, keep the Ashkenazi minhagim. This is the proper way to do. Why? Because when there's many minhagim, this one does like this one does like that. What happens is that people make machloket. There's fights. No, this is a minhag. No, this is a minhag. It's not. There's no shalom like that. What did God do? It makes a machloket. So this is the reason why. So therefore, Maran used to hold that a person, should do like this. When you come to Eretz Israel, do like Eretz Israel. Because over there a minhag over there. By the way, Eretz Israel, let me ask you a question, right? Is it a Sephardi country or Ashkenazi country? This is the question. Ashkenazi?
Sephardi.
You think so? Maybe you're talking about the Knesset. Sephardi, yeah. So the truth is, that according to history, Eretz Israel is a Sephardi country. You know what that means? That from the time that the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed by Chini, always there was a Sephardi community there until this day. Always. Never stopped. There was always a Sephardi community there. But Ashkenazi community, there was not always there. There was not always. They started to come, when they started to come, the Ashkenazim, and after the Ottoman Empire, the Turkish Empire fell down, they started to come in at that time. You know why that is, by the way? What's the reason why? Because the Turkim, the Ottoman Empire, they didn't allow the Ashkenazim to come into Eretz Israel. They would not allow them. They didn't let them come in. What's the reason why? You want to know why?
Why?
Because they thought they're not Jewish. They thought it's fake, They're blue eyes, What, Jews with blue eyes? What's going on? What kind of Jew are you? You're a European man, So they didn't believe that the Ashkenazim were Jewish. And this is the reason why they didn't let them in. So until the Ottoman Empire fell down, you understand? The Ashkenazi Jews were not able to come into Eretz Israel. Once it fell down, then the English, the British, they let them come in. But the Ottoman Empire was never letting them come in. So therefore, the truth is that Eretz Israel is a Sephardi country. This is halakha. So therefore, when you go to Eretz Israel, let's say if you convert, right, that's also, right? If you convert over there, a ger, he has to do Sephardi because it's a Sephardi country, Eretz Israel, So when we go over there, we have to keep the Sephardi minhagim, but because we're also Sephardi. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, amen.